Hi guys, Reverend Crystal Cox here. It's October 2020 and I just want to visit with you a little bit about what's going on in the world today. First of all, I'm not afraid of anything that's going on. Do you remember, some of you may remember when the first Kryon book came out in the 90s. I read the book when it first came out. I've been to Kryon channelings. I read Bringers of the Dawn when that first came out. And I talked about all this. And the Kryon information talked about a time when all chaos would be breaking out and we would be safe in our homes. And there was many possibilities, prophesized with Armageddon. But what's happening now was what the best way for humanity to digest this next level. So it was looked at quantum, like the quantum ball you see the Trump in pictures with Saudi Arabia king. My Awakener book's too bright. I gotta move it. It's got like a rainbow going pew pew pew. Anyway, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, so that's a quantum computer to see what's the best possible scenario for humanity to digest what's next. Because our consciousness is like a computer program. And what vehicle it's put in doesn't really matter. It could be in a dog, it could be in a chair, it could be in a butterfly. But as we are in a human body now and we're moving through, it's important to keep our consciousness intact, so that we don't lose it. Have a mental breakdown where our consciousness is not intact. And so the best possible scenario for large parts of humanity to awaken, to understand what their government has been doing to them, to understand what the medical system has been doing to them, is this whole mask thing. So everything that's happening now has a bigger reason and a bigger purpose, as we as light workers know that. I find it so intriguing that so many light workers are going along with the masks, going along with Western medicine. As an energy healer, I've seen miracles in quantum shifts just miraculously overnight healed. When you understand your belief systems, you can heal anything immediately. You get rid of the emotion attached to it. I mean, the most miraculous things you would think you could never heal. You instantly move to another timeline where you're healed. And so the light workers and starseeds that are buying into all of what the media is saying is kind of an oxymoron to me. It's completely against the whole thing, and that's not where I'm at. I trust myself, and I know that I came here to Earth to raise the vibration of Mother Earth and her people. And because humanity was too dense, and the light workers, we heeded that call. And so now, with this shakeup, the light workers are being tested too. We're done healing people. I mean, of course, we're healing. I do healing work every day. But we're not doing it like we did for several decades. Light workers, you can't heal people anymore if you don't heal yourself. We used to be able to heal other people. I used to make this joke about contractors. Contractors' homes are never finished. They're always working on their home, but they finish the other people's home. And light workers doing the same thing, healing other people, but not working on their own stuff. They act like they are, they think they are, but now they have to. So the light workers are also part of this awakening because they've bought into that system as well, a lot of them. And so, like the Kryon information that we'll be watching it outside the window, we are. But we're not watching chaos and wars to that degree yet. There will be small type wars with, as they call the radical right and the radical left, and as everything's being exposed. And we already did our work. So it's time for joy. So focus on the world you want. There's nothing to do right now, light workers, starseeds. Just beam your light and be positive. Think about what you want. Think about what you want for the humans. And if you don't want to stay here on Earth, which most don't, to watch humanity in the next step, you'll be leaving and that'll be known. But you're no longer involved in saving them or rescuing them. Now everybody's involved on that on a personal level themselves. And so we are watching it from the window, like the Kryon stuff 30 years ago. And someone told me a story the other day about, the 40 years, the desert, the Bible story, that the reason that was is because they were free but they couldn't accept freedom. So they had to keep plodding along how they were doing until the new generation came, so that could allow freedom. And that's kind of where we're at now. The old guard's leaving. And people buying into what? Okay, what the CDC says, what the mayor says, what the health official says. I've never bought into any of that. I mean, I've helped people cure cancer for 30 years. Cancer's always been curable. The medical system has always lied to you. We've never needed government. We've never needed all this bullshit. Taxes has always been illegal. Debt, they make up money and then they charge you to borrow it. I mean, it's all messed up, you know. And then the United States as a military to the world, going everywhere and monkeying in everybody's business. But how would Americans feel if there was a Russian base here or a German base here on American soil? They would rise up and be like, can't do that. But they're okay with American troops going to other countries and doing that. Okay, things like billions of dollars every year going to Israel and going to all these countries while Americans are sleeping in the street. Okay, it's illegal for to let dogs freeze in the street, but people are everywhere in the street. So it's just an archaic, barbaric, right? And the medical system is just tyrannical. I mean, they study on dead bodies. They don't factor in energy. They don't factor in. Now I'm curious to make sure this is still recording. So we'll talk about the medical system in part 2. Yes, it's Reverend Crystal Cox rambling.